going on, everyone? So I'm sure that you've already heard the sad news about Mad. Essentially, they're going to put out the rest of their new content, then they're going to put out some rehash content in order to appease current subscribers, which I'm one of those people. And then after that, they're basically just going to put out rehash stuff in comic book stores only, which doesn't come as a surprise since DC Comics does in fact own the license. So yeah, well, I'm pretty bummed out about it, and I'll tell you why. Lately, I've been mostly focused on collecting Mad magazines. That's been my primary focus. My secondary focus has been non-sports trading cards. And the reason why I've kind of switched gears from video games into Mad magazines and non-sports trading cards is the fact that video games are kind of expensive, especially the ones that are sought after. And it's just so much harder to find good deals on video games nowadays. I'm not saying that I don't find good deals on video games sometimes, because I do still, but it's not very often. You know, we got pretty much everybody is a reseller nowadays, and so everybody's constantly looking for something that they can resell, even if they know very little about the item. And, you know, there's a lot of collectors, and yeah, it's just hard to come across video games, but something that hasn't been hard for me to come by, non-sports cards and Mad magazines, and they've been super, super cheap. I picked up a lot of Mad magazines the other day. I got like 20 of them for $20, so $1 a piece. But that's not the cheapest I found them. I found a lot, I think it was about 2 years ago or so now. I got a lot of like 30 of them or so for 25 cents a piece. It was crazy. And yeah, I've just been finding all these good deals on Mad magazines and non-sports trading cards because people just don't really seem to have a ton of interest in those right now, or at least they didn't. But now that Mad is going to be no more, essentially, basically, kind of, sort of, now all the prices are starting to go back up on eBay. And that sucks, man, because I was doing really good collecting those, and I was spending very little money and just getting a lot of bang for my buck. And now I feel like that is over. And that's sad, man. Like, I was really thoroughly entertained for very little money. And also, I recently subscribed to Mad Magazine, and I got this really good deal on Groupon. I was super excited about it. It was like $5 for a whole year. And then, of course, they would auto-renew at, you know, the full price rate, which was still fairly affordable, around $30 or so. And I was really looking forward to all that, but now it sounds like I'm just going to get a bunch of rehash crap in the mail. And I'm not saying that it's not going to be worth the $5, but it's for sure not what I was really wanting. And I will say, though, that as a Mad magazine collector, that they haven't really been too relevant in recent years, at least not for me anyhow. In the 80s, I absolutely loved Mad, and I had some 70s issues that were really great. I believe in the 70s is when they actually peaked, but the 80s were really great for Mad magazine readers, and then I still enjoyed them in the 90s. The 2000s came around, and they just stopped producing content that I really enjoyed, and so I bought an issue here and there, but for the most part I kind of stopped buying them. And then in the 2010s, like, every cover that I saw just really didn't appeal to me at all, except for the Weird Al issue, which you're about to see, because what I want to do is I want to show you my Mad magazine collection. I do have a few that I ordered off of eBay right before this news actually came out to the public. And so I was going to wait to do this video and include those, but I think that one of those issues is really special, and you'll see why, because I do plan to put out a video about it. But for now, let's go ahead and check out my Mad magazine collection. So what I've done here is I started with the 60s and 70s. It's my smallest pile, obviously. So this is what I believe to be my oldest issue of Mad. It's from 1964, April. And I haven't read this one yet. I recently got this one, so I'm looking forward to it. And then I skip over to the 70s. Here's July 79. You got Superman on the cover. Super barf bag there. It's hilarious. And here is January 72. Pretty good, pretty good. Now we can skip over to the 80s. Now, I didn't put these in order or anything. They're just by decade, so. And also I got a couple doubles, but we'll just kind of go through these so you can check out the covers. Sometimes the backs are really funny too. I love this cover. Crocodile Dundee and Rambo. That's great. No cover on that one, but I still keep it. Batman. Murphy Brown. Doesn't this just take you back? Makes you think of all those old shows that you used to watch. I love this one. Pee Wee Herman. Isn't that great? Got Eddie Murphy there. Miami Vice. And Murder, She Wrote. Another one of my favorites right here. And this came out in 89, which is, I was really into wrestling in the late 80s, so that brings back some memories there. Tootsie. Roger Rabbit. Please. I don't do a very good Roger Rabbit impression. That. Getting a pie to the face. This is actually kind of relevant to what's happening now, right? Big Q-tip. It's pretty cool. Special rock issue. Boy George and everything. Paul McCartney. This is another awesome cover. Hilarious. California Raisins. Got another issue. Got another wrestling one there. Like I said, and there's another Pee Wee. I do have a couple doubles in here. That one's awesome. Temple of Doom. This one's one of my favorites. It's hilarious. Got a Bruce Springsteen parody there. It's great. We evolved into Alfred E. Newman. You got this big one here. That should actually be over here. We'll put that there. This one I was after for a while. It talks about the Goonies in this one. There's another issue that the Goonies are actually on the cover, and I want that one more. Oh, that's also a special. We'll put that there. Looks like I didn't do a very good job of organizing these. They're special. You do gotta take into consideration that there were the regular issues, and there are also special issues. That much more to collect. That's awesome. Whatever, I like Ghostbusters too. And now we move on to the 1990s. Countdown to Armageddon. I love this Mars Attacks. That's super cool. Dennis Miller rants. That's great. First looked at Madonna's Baby. Dennis Rodman parody. Jerry Springer. Mad Pets Super Special. Oh, that's cool. We slay Buffy. Happy holidays. That's great too. ER. I forgot about that show. Godzilla. Now this is funny. Like, it's political, which I don't really care for the politics, but hey, it's Beavis and Butthead. I'll take it. Pulp Fiction, The X-Files, Tomb Raider. Look at her square boobs, shooting his head off. What, me worry? The Twisted World of Pro Wrestling. They do like to talk about wrestling fairly often, or at least they used to. X-Files again. Mad Stocking Stuffer. I guess that's also... No, oh yeah, it's super special, so that goes in that stack. Phantom Menace. Wild Wild West. 20th Century, why it sucked. I can think of plenty of reasons. I actually bought this one new. A lot of these I can go through and I still remember buying them new. Hello, Newman. That's great. I remember buying this one new as well. The In Living Color, what they said about them was pretty great. And our Star Wars. You gotta have some Star Wars. The Ultimate Fighting Championship. Mad 20. That's great too. Love this this cover. Dr. Katz. Used to watch that show, and of course South Park when they're a new show still. Win a night with the Spice Girls. That one's super cool. Might have to talk about this one. I don't know. Nintendo video games. Excellent cover. Now we move on to the 2000s. Now, the 2000s is when I lost a lot of interest in Mad Magazine. I just noticed that the content just wasn't there like it used to be, and the covers weren't really appealing to me anymore. And so, yeah, I just lost a lot of interest, especially in the 2010s. I went to the store just to find out that, I found an issue of Mad, and I'm like, hey, I should get this. And it was $6, and it's like, man, I'm not paying $6 for a light issue of Mad. That's Mad. And you got Zuckerberg there. We screw around with friends. Exclusive Spider-Man 2. Doc Ock. We mutate X-Men 2. That's a pretty cool cover. I'll give him that. Obama with Spy vs. Spy. That's great. Thanks, Obama. That stupid guy. And that one's good too. 50 worst things about video games. What's number 1? Color classics, huh? And emoji and stuff. Batman Begins, and a bat is taking a shit on his head. You got Adam Sandler there. That's pretty good. Meh. We'll worry for food. Dan Cook. Never been a fan of him. The jokes that I liked of his, I found out that he ripped off from Jerry Seinfeld. Minions, also never been a fan of. They look like Twinkies with eyes, and it kind of creeps me out. Weird Al. Now that's a cover I can get. That's something I'd buy right there. Bush. Don't care. That's another thing I noticed, is I noticed that they got way more political in their later years, and I already hear enough about Trump on Facebook and the news. I don't really need to hear about him in Mad Magazine. Anyhow, these are the special issues, some of which we've already seen because they were mixed in, so we're just going to kind of skip through those. Hot Air Mad. The Knockout Mad. Mad Super Special 81, the comics. It's a big one. Super Special Movies 2, Spring 84. Whatever that is. And whatever this is. Also, this came out of an issue. I haven't done the research to figure out which one it came with or anything, but if anybody knows more about it, hit me up. This is one of my oldest issues right here. I believe it's from the 60s. I didn't look into it recently, but look at this back cover. Heads you lose. And so you got like these two kids hanging out, and one of them shooting up. And if you fold the cover, it forms something even cooler on the other side. I forget what, but that's something to look into. This one's super big. Look at that. Godzilla up in this one too. Bombs again. Our worst stuff in sickening color. 2005 yearbook. Violence. Cops, politicians, teachers. Nostalgia. Violence. Did we see that one already? Seems like we did. Maybe it's a double. Silliest nonsense. Sports. Zaps the human race. And that one's really big. That's like 2 magazines in one right there. And then you have these where they do 4 issues all in one, which is pretty cool. I remember buying this one new. That's cool. Look at that. That's pretty cool. The worst from Mad. Oh, the Mad wall signs. Those were great. Oh, this one was really good. I really enjoyed that one a lot. And you got one from 84 here. Anyhow, that's it. That's my collection.